So this is my 6-week observation reflection. This week I am supposed to do a couple things, and it didn't really fit in alignment with the classes that I'm observing, but I will try to answer them as best I can. So I'm supposed to keep a tally of how often girls are called and how often boys are called during a typical lesson. But what's really interesting about the classes that I'm in, and this week's reading actually addressed a lot of this, is like the whole the classrooms that are kind of away from the typical instruction of like a teacher kind of speaking only and kind of a teacher being more of a coach. And that is actually the total style that the teachers there's 3 of them, and they all do the same style. They're all in the same math department, but they really don't call on students. They will stand up and they try to make it like a big group discussion. So they will have, say, a few questions on the board, and they'll say things like, what do you think of this? Who thinks this? And they just kind of like look out to the classroom and like, oh, yeah, I heard that. Oh, yeah, I heard that. What do we think of that person's answer? What do we think of this? Oh, is that so? So there wasn't really, I honestly didn't see anybody do like the hand raising, or I didn't see any teacher just kind of picking on anybody just to say like, hey Joe, what do you think the approach or answer or solution is here? So I couldn't really do a tally because it's just not the style that they teach. So it wasn't evident. Also, something I did notice is that it's probably totally equal participation. So the girls and the boys participated just as much. It kind of depended on the class. So the last day I was in the classroom, I was in like a low level math class. Not low level. Well, it's low level, but it's freshman. Then I also sat in on a like junior senior class, and so in the freshman level class, it was actually the girls who were more likely to participate and being part of the conversation. And I observed like most of the boys were just kind of like quiet, shut down, distracted or bored, or it's just the girls were just participating more. But still, the boys were, but just it seemed like I was hearing the girls talk more. So, gender neutral activities. I feel like most everything I would do would be gender neutral activities. So, like, there's creative projects. There's one of the classes has a presentation coming up, and they're supposed to come up with like a new symbol for the math department, and they have to like pitch what it means and what it's about. And so like I actually have more of a hard time thinking of like gender specific, but that's also because this is high school, so it's not so likely to be like, color coded, or like I don't know, gender stereotypings of like activities for girls is this, activities for boys is that. So most everything I would ever do would just be gender neutral in terms of like a group project about like maybe a business, or like a solution for a business, or a I don't know, even just the way you write problems. Like I wouldn't be like, and Sally is babysitter and she needs to figure out how much money to make to buy the purse she wants. Like, I think that even in the questions I would write, they just would be also gender neutral. So, to specifically come up with activities, it just be everything I did would probably be gender neutral. But I'm also that kind of parent. Like, my girls have, like, trucks and blocks, and, like, I don't know, we're kind of minimal on well, from me, we're minimal on those like stereotypical things. So I think all the things that are even just in my parenting style come like gender neutral. Even the clothes I buy them. I'm not like pushing frilly pinky stuff, and I have 3 daughters, so and I don't know, my girls have dolls, and when my nephew comes over, they even play with the dolls. So I just think like pretty much anything I would do would be gender neutral, just because like that's kind of also how I was raised, and I don't know, it's just kind of natural to me. Kind of weird. I'm also maybe I'm more aware of it because in my past it's like I kind of have always worked in a stereotypically more male dominated field in the military and in mathematics and in the business world. So yeah, that it just would come natural. Um, so these were the follow-up questions, and because I couldn't really do the tally, so I'll just kind of answer them to how I can. So I'm supposed to think about a way I would introduce and teach a gender neutral activity. I think that I would be pretty conscious of not using, like, I don't know, assuming that every business owner is a male or like him or her, or, you know, pitting, I don't know, boys versus girls. Like, I don't even think I would do that, honestly. I just would do less to kind of draw attention to differences there, just because I just don't really feel like they apply. When it comes to ways I could set up my classroom to ensure an environment is safe for all students, um, this week's reading had a lot of there was one section that had tips on things you could do, and so something I actually think I would do, and I saw something similar, but not for this. I'll tell you. So I can see myself having like a sticker, a picture, a little tiny rainbow flag, something somewhere that would identify me as a safe person for somebody who may be, you know, I don't know, in the closet or out, or questioning, or, you know, just like nothing overt, nothing. Well, I mean, it would be overt, but like nothing like in your face, but just something subtle that I think that if a student was kind of looking for a sign that somebody's a safe ally, that they could see, like, oh, you know, Miss Portnoy, I bet I could talk to her, you know, I bet I could, you know, she would be like, you know, a safe person. I also am really sensitive to slurs, and so I know for a fact that if somebody were to say something that I heard, it would be addressed, probably on the spot with kindness, but clearly addressed. So I think that those are ways that I know that I could have a classroom that would feel safe, would feel inviting. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of seems easy, but maybe maybe I've just been living in my bubble, my bubble too long, where I'm not super exposed to like an environment where there's people who are I don't know, comfortable using slurs, comfortable using sexist remarks, and I know it's around me. I know it's around me. I'm just not honestly facing it that often. So I probably will more when I'm in school. But yeah, this is an interesting topic. I think that it's hard to speculate when I don't have a lot of experience in it yet, though.